Hello everybody, Doug here from 2 Plus Tough, and I'm having a bit of a hobby day. I hope to do these pretty much most Thursdays going forward. Forgive the crazy looking mess that was outside, shoveling all of our melted snow now that we have here in Iowa. What I'm going to be doing today is a few things, and so as I get started and ramble them off, please go ahead, drag out your paintbrush and minis. We're going to just be hanging out, chatting, hobby, and I got some cool lo-fi covers of songs here going for us to just relax, because I find that models get painted faster when you're just kind of in the zone with other people talking about things you like. So here we are. As for what we're doing today, I have three things on my to-do list. The first one is I need to make a Path to Glory roster for my Flesh Eater Quartz. I'll kind of talk more about that in a little bit here. I have not played Age of Sigmar in an exceptionally long time, like for real, to the point where it feels a little intimidating to come back into the game side of things. The story, I've kept up on all the short stories with that, but the game part, it gets away from me. 3rd edition always did. So we're going to make this because I found a local group that's starting at like 600 points and building up, and I was like, there's no better way to get back on the horse. So we have that. And then the other thing I'm doing is me painting models as well as list building for the game Space Station Zero. This is the roster they have. If you're unfamiliar with this was created by Adam Loper, I think it's how it's pronounced, but Uncle Adam from Tabletop Minions and Vince Ventrella from the channel of the same name of Warhammer Weekly fame. And they make one-off games that with they're fully supported in the sense that like they have FAQs and that kind of stuff like that, but they're one-off self-contained games, and they're hosting one at Adepticon, and I signed up because I really want to play it. It seems right up my alley, but there's something about games for me personally, and this has gone for every single miniatures game I've played, where I don't really get it until I play it, and so having someone to like basically hold my hand through it. But we're going to build the roster together. I already got the models picked out. And let's go see. Let's see. Got some stuff. Move this out of the way. I got a whole bunch of things in my box. So, over here on the unpainted side, Alistair, hey, buddy. I took a little mental health break. Had to reset the old Doug battery. Over here are a bunch of zombies to be my 6 biological threats that I had to bring. I'm still sourcing some robots. I want to do something fun. I have an idea that is quick and easy, so we'll see how that goes. Up here is my crew, and I'll introduce them as I go through my Space Station Zero roster. This stuff over here is a bunch of pirates for the Blood and Plunder narrative event at Adepticon, which I am also doing. That one I am going to require much more hand-holding on the part of the organizers. But it is without a doubt the only historical game that has ever interested me. And I mean, part of it is just a lot of... Sorry, I moved my camera around a whole bunch here lately. I'm kind of resetting my hand position to my back and show on. Hello, Doug. Perfect timing since I'm working on my own Path to Glory roster for my local store campaign. Hey, look at that. Dang it. I had a bunch of ideas for my crew written down in a notebook that I left at a cousin's house. But here was the basic idea. So you get a crew. I chose a crew of 6. So let's start here. I want to introduce you to these fun characters before I start painting them, because I had a lot of fun coming up with ideas of like how to make these miniatures have some life to them. And if you're curious, these are all from the game Omega Protocol, and it is, oh my gosh, I can't, sorry, I got distracted by cow. I was playing with my wires behind my camera. It ran away. It's by Dead Alive Games. It's a sweet selection of models, and it's like a self-contained miniatures game. I like hexes. I'm a sucker for them. So, I got my Space Station Zero rulebook here. We're going to go to the crew builder. Like I said, I'm going to knock this out real fast because I already have an idea of what I want. But let's translate. Get these out of the way. Okay. Steps to creating your crew. Choose your crew type. It's basically how many crew members you have. So I'm going to choose 6. Don't have a secondary agenda yet. So this is what I chose. So this is everybody in my crew's starting stat line. 4, 4, 3, 3, 3. I don't know any what those stats mean, but we'll figure it out. Ship type. So essentially what was the ship doing? And I remember I went for shipping. So let's see, ship type. And what I was going for was this idea of people who go out and like fetch exotic animals from across the galaxy. And so it's like part smuggling, part, I don't know, hunting kind of expedition thing. The commander gets +1 to their life, and they have a mix of crews. The only downside to that part, though, is that you can't have more than 2 of any crew type. Let's knock this out real quick. And okay. So this is my paper scratch one. I'm just going to write down the stats, and then I'm going to scribble on like the +1s, and then I'll print off a new roster and make it all clean. We're going to pass on the commander right now. Commander, you get in addition. So even though I have a crew of 6, you get your commander. So it's a 7-man party. Let's see. Okay, so oh wait, they're all 4. Okay, no mind. Could have just cut that up. Hi Doug, hey Elrit. I like Space Station Zero a lot. The combat resolves quickly, and at some point it will really start to feel like you're exploring a giant ship. That's what we are hoping for. I have a whole bunch of terrain on order to start doing more of it. I realized I have nothing but like really when I wanted to start doing let's see, and this guy gets an extra life. Hold on one sec here. Commander, the shipping vessel gains logistics expert. Commander also gains +1 to life, so that means it would be 5, 4, 3, 3. Let me just double check here that I didn't miss. There was like a little weird commander sidebar. Ba, ba, ba. Ooh, your commander gains an additional 3 points, which can be allocated in any combination. So, your commander may select 1 bonus piece of equipment. Okay, so I have, this is the +1 from my ship. So, let's see. Let's take a look at these stats. What do these things actually mean? Move, reaction. I'm gonna go 1, 1, and there we go. That's my ship bonus plus my 3 for my leader guy. Oh, sorry everybody. Lost my spot in the crew making part. Okay, now here's where we get to the fun part that I was excited for, is the crew junk. So now we have our commander established. I had her as a medical officer. This is a sweet looking mini here. She's got like a little robot with her. I figured that could be a great little like med bot. All right, first one to throw a reasonable name. We'll put that out there. I don't want 42069 thought police. But I'm gonna say there. Let's call him a doctor. Let's see, doctor. I don't know, man. We get some name generators. Wait, our doctor. Let's see. She is a medical officer. Stat bonus is +1 intelligence because she's a doctor. And she gets medical attention. Aegis. Dr. Victoria Aegis. I like that. Boom. Equipment. We're not there yet. Okay. So, Dr. Victoria Aegis. Next we have, let's see. Yes, I believe, a pair of scientists. These guys here are who I will be painting. Everyone's going to kind of have some of those orange jumpsuit crew type things. But here's a pair of scientists. One's holding a hollow pad. The other one's kind of doing some recording here with a little bot on his shoulder. So we'll go here, medical officer, engineer. Here we go at the top here, scientist. And they have armor tuning as their ability. And +1 to their intelligence. Oh, as well, okay. We've got a bunch of smart people running around. Let's see. Let's have this creepy guy with the bot who looks like he's really into voyeurism. He'll be Ichabod Graves. Let's get to some stupid, silly names. This guy, I want him to have a stupid name. Like, he's like the smart guy that we all know he's actually smart, but we treat him like he's a moron. So I'm just going to call him Bucket. There's Bucket. Next, we have my engineer model, which I'm happy to show you. Man with pipe. I pulled him out of the bin and I was like, oh, this has to be my engineer. There's literally no other options for this guy. So we'll go to here. He gets +1 to his reaction. And he gets weapon tuning. Hi Doug, what you doing? Mathis Plane. What are we doing? We're building a roster for Vince Ventrella and Uncle Adam's game Space Station Zero. Because I need to get these guys painted for Adepticon. Okay, so that's 4 of my team. I still need a name for... Steve the engineer. Steve. Oh, yes, that's going to be his name. Steve. In engineering. So he's not an engineer. He's the mad guy with a pipe that we put in engineering. And then I have 2 more and then a commander. So for my 2, I have these 2, which are kind of sporting the same color scheme. Actually, for all these guys, I'm trying to do kind of the same loud scheme you see like on this art. And And so these two are going to be my actual soldiers that accompany the crew, so that's what they both are. I'm watching a lot of What We Do in the Shadows, so the cryptic woman with one eye and a sniper rifle is going to be Nadja. Okay, and then for the other guy, just, I don't know, I part of me feels like I want to give him just like a real name. I don't know, like the name of a real person, rather, like Jason Schwartzman. You know what I mean? Just like random dude. I'm gonna put Dundee. He's got that Crocodile Dundee with the big old knife. Code name Dundee. Okay. So we have Nadja, Steve in engineering, Bucket, Inkabod Graves, Victoria Aegis, and I need a commander name. Here is my commander model. It's from that same line of minis, and it's just a badass looking guy. He's got a purple shirt, so it's going to be much brighter here in a little bit. I'm going to build up the yellow so it's more kind of garish, but he has like a robot arm like the dude from Cowboy Bebop, and he's rocking a shotgun. He is a logistics expert, so if we're trying to come up with a I don't know, a name, what would a fictional logistics expert be? Let's see. Bob in game, Bob in real life. Steve is good at concussive maintenance. I like that. I'm gonna have a special rule with that. I'm gonna go with logistics. Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna call his name. Are we ready for this? SEE-F-O. Because why is his name CFO? Because he is CFO, and it's an acronym that was lost in the meaning in the eons of time of Space Station Zero, but from the logistics counter, he is a certified forklift operator. CFO, and they don't understand why. Commander CFO of logistics. There we go. That's my silly name for my logistics commander. Certified forklift operator. Next, let's see. Oh, we do have more. That's right, because they need equipment. They can pretty much... Oh, yes. What is your edge? So edge is kind of like a thing that makes them super unique and original. So I'm trying to think of what best articulates our band of logistics masters who go and capture animals or do science crap, but on the more illegal side. Armored force, maybe. Nanotech. It seems a little bit too high-techy for these guys. Warrior born makes sense if they're just ready to get into battle, but that sounds, I don't know. Natural brutes. Smugglers. I think that's what I chose when I did this last time. Chemically enhanced time masters, shapeshifters, and parasites. I think I'm going to go smugglers. That's kind of the profession they're doing, even though it's generally biological things. So xenobiologists. Is that here and I'm just not seeing it? Nope. No, but it'd be cool if they added it. But basically, yeah, that's kind of what I'm going for. Equipment. When you are creating your crew, you may select up to 1 weapon for each crew and up to 3 other pieces of equipment total. You may choose equipment from any table that you have access to based on your ship type. So let's go back to our ship type. I think I have everything as a smuggler. Not a smuggler. Shipping. I think I went way too far back. Yeah, shipping. Okay. Equipment. From any category. General, medical. Okay. So let's see. Equipment. Medical equipment. So everybody can... Does this mean that everybody can have like a heavy weapon? Kind of a thing? Okay, so equipment. Everybody gets a weapon. Let's just start there. General equipment, advanced. So for our medical officer, let's say sidearm. Weapons. Medical equipment, advanced technology. Yeah, so we'll give a sidearm to our doctor. We have 2 scientists. That's right, and that's these 2 nerds. I'm thinking... He looks like he's got a rifle on his back, so I'm happy to give him... Let's see... an energy missile weapon. And I want to do a thing that also, like... General equipment. We'll give him a scanner, too. So now we're dipping into our optional things, yeah? For our doctor, we're going to give her the stabilization module. That's what we're going to call the bot at her feet. Okay. For this scientist here, he is, let's see, he's going to get a sidearm. And he's going to get a drone system. He can either have a shield drone or a targeting drone. Let's see. Targeting drone. And then we have Steve in engineering, who obviously is rocking a heavy kinetic melee weapon. That's what we're going to call that huge pipe. All right. And we have our 2 soldiers. That's right, that's these 2, Nadja and Dundee. Nadja gets the heavy kinetic missile weapon. And Dundee, oh, what's he gonna get? He does have an armored jacket on. Let's give him one of those. So. Sweet. Now I do have a few more items I can pick, but this is basically all I need to get started, so we'll just jump in here. Okay, so we got the crew together. And I would love to know, now that I have my focus back to where I can like see the chat and stuff like that a bit more, what's everybody else working on? I'd love to hear what everyone else is doing. So you're done. There's a few of these that I felt very comfortable with calling done. She needs some highlights. I think all these guys do too. Okay. Actually, I do kind of want to highlight the orange a smidge. Nice strong purple. Off topic, love the idea of the wedding band tattoo. Oh, thank you. Yes, this my wife has a sleeve of flowers going up her arm, and I needed to get my ring resized. And looking at it, it costs the same. I was like, I kind of like this more, so we made it so that it matches her. Like they're the same type of flowers and that kind of stuff going up her arm. So yeah, thank you. Working on basing my Warriors of Gondor. Nice. Okay, let's slide these folks over. We got our nice bright purple here. And, you know, it's not that the colors are necessarily garish, but there are a very strong contrast and bright, bold colors all over the artwork that Space Station Zero has on the cover, and I adore it. It's my style. Is anyone else going to Adepticon this year, 2024? I would love to meet folks. I kind of kept it a little bit more on the down low last year just because I was very overwhelmed by the event. I always am when I do new big stuff like cons and stuff like that. Working on emails. Hey, Alabaster, got a friend into Blood Bowl. Any tips on getting started? Oh, unfortunately not for Blood Bowl. That's like, I have some of the stuff for it, but I don't actually play that game. Not really for a lack of anything. There's actually a league that I was highly tempted to join here locally, but I just don't have the capacity to learn one more game right now. But I hear nothing but great things about it. And everyone, oh man, whenever I go to an event, like a con or something, the Blood Bowl guys are always having some of the most fun. Do you think the points updates will drop for AOS and 40k? You know, they used to be very consistent. At least they were for a smidge. At this point, I'm just like, whenever it comes, it comes. I don't have a date. But I also am not someone who, like, I don't know. I feel like I'm the wrong person to ask for all your questions, bro. Not because I don't want to answer them, but because like I don't really. Well, first of all, I don't play 40k. I have some Space Marines that I was just, or Chaos Space Marines rather. I was just about to throw on the old eBay. As for AOS, you know, I don't know. It's kind of in a weird spot right now because we know that there's more to the. The Dawnbringer series, but when that'll actually manifest, we're still lurch. So it's as far as like how that relates, a lot of folks seem to think that that's going to lead into the next edition. That's fair. Yeah, I apologize. I don't admit, not that I'm trying to dodge your questions, but they just I don't know. I feel like they were on a real hot streak there for a bit with keeping things pretty clear as far as like where the state of the game is, and then I just really haven't been super impressed since third dropped. It just seems like a lot to keep track of. But I'm hoping playing at a smaller point level here, just with some guys locally that I like, will kind of reinvigorate that in me. Go. A whole lot of purple on others. Let's see. So let's come back to our yellow. We have warm yellow. But yes. So I've got to start thinking out loud. I got my book here. I'm also, like I said, working on the Path to Glory section of my Flesh Eater Quartz, because we're starting just at 600, I think, points for the first month, because people are getting their first starter sets and all of that going. So keeping it pretty chill, which I'm definitely in favor for when it comes to starting. But let me throw my Path to Glory section here next to me, and we can start working through that, because it's a lot of you gotta pregame some of this work, man. With this Path to Glory stuff, they really I think made it very compelling, but I think I accidentally put some purple into that. It's like I'm accidentally mixing paints. So, the only thing I really have lore-wise for my Flesh Eater Court is that they are called the Ophalmorn, specifically as a subset of the Hallowmorn Grand Court. And that is really about it. I was trying to think of like, okay, so what are some other details I can add, at least in my own head canon, to kind of define them a bit. One is certainly how they feel about Nagash, which is don't care for him, pretty indifferent. Which also kind of maybe projects some of my feelings about Nagash. But hey, what you gonna do? What I haven't decided though is like, do I want them to be more more stationary? Do I want them to be like, they have like a specific place, or do I want them to be more mobile? I haven't asked those kinds of lore questions. I'm curious what interests y'all more. A flesh eater court that is mobile, or one that just has like their little kingdom that they have kind of carved out? What have you been playing most recently? Sadly, I have not been playing much of anything recently. That being said, this coming week and a half or so, I have a Fallout Wasteland Warfare game, and I'm joining a Age of Sigmar Path to Glory Slow Grow League. So I went from nothing to a whole bunch of stuff. The Fallout stuff just kept getting pushed back because our weather just kind of kept getting crazy out here. But lately, I don't know. I've been in a emotional funk lately, and so going out and gaming just to do pickup games and that kind of stuff just seems very overwhelming. So unless I have something specific planned, I've just been kind of staying home. That being said, as far as what I'm thinking about playing the most recently, it's really been a tie between Space Station Zero, Fallout, and maybe Blood and Plunder. I've kind of been thinking about that a lot, if I'm honest. Let's see. Feeling fairly good about him. I need to get the orange. How about you, DW? What you been playing? Whenever I get the big sads, I tend to hit up, what is it, Fallout 76 and Pokemon Violet at this point quite a bit. Add like one little notch brighter here on the orange. Hey Doug, just got here. How are you? Hey, I'm good, Ethan. Just chilling. Oh, you didn't miss much. We've just been building out rosters for a couple games. One of them is Space Station Zero by Vince Ventrella and Uncle Adam fame. And I signed up for their event at Adepticon. I'm very, very excited to participate, support, take pictures. This is our doctor with her little med bot. Like him. Nice. I think she looks pretty good. He needs some skin work. Yeah, it's basically just contrast. Okay. And let's see. This guy has orange pants. We can knock these out. He's pretty much done. Just a couple highlights. Let's see. Space Station Zero has a ton of. Oh, is a ton of fun. Wish I had more models to use for enemies though, specifically robots and stuff. Yeah, I have an idea. I want to see how it goes before I suggest it. But there's basically a pack you can buy on Amazon of like these little cheap robot toys that are just kind of generic model toys, not really for anything in particular. But I don't know. They kind of have some wacky robot designs just for kids' toys, so I thought that might be interesting. But again, I want to see. We're gonna come here and take our Caucasian in a bottle. So, I would love to know people's thoughts. What's everyone feeling about the old world? Any interest amongst y'all? For my part, I'm not terribly interested. I think I said that a couple times, but if you are, I'm genuinely happy for you. Is Fallout PvP or are there rules for bots? It is everything. It is cooperative, player versus player, player versus environment, campaign style. When you buy the game at the game store, the core box comes with player versus player rules, and then Modiphius has a massive library of free stuff on their website, like just free rules or whatever. And their AI rules are built into the core of the game, and they are awesome. So for example, like when you're starting off, you determine if enemies are aggressive or more chill, and then they'll react differently over the course of the game as you activate them. And I don't know, I think it's great. And then they created a like exploring the wastes kind of campaign format where you can stumble upon random events in the world. So one of them is essentially like you as the player need to get to the other side of the map to leave, and along the way like super mutants walk up, but they immediately see blood bugs and start fighting them instead. And so the point is it's kind of trying to create this interactive world that you're walking through as you're walking through it. And the only thing that I would say is to remember, at any point, you as the gamer can choose how many of those rules to include or not, because they include so many things for articulating so many different kinds of interactions that it can be a little overwhelming on the outset, but the point is that you can do whatever you want. I'm old world curious, but I don't want to rebase anything. Yes, exactly. I had a 2K game of AOS this weekend. Had an absolute hoot. The game lasted 4 hours because of the banter, but I had to call it after turn 3. Well, hey, as long as you both had a great time, man, that's all that matters. Time limits only matter for events. And I am so glad to hear you had a good time. So you played... I played Tzeentch Mortals versus Nurgle Mortals. It's such a classic matchup. Just like the Chaos Gods just all trying to murder each other. Yes, this is the red we're going to go with to highlight. Basically, she has red pants, and he has sort of a red suit. He's our scientist with the drone. How did you find let's see, so he had Nurgle Mortals. Did either of you do a lot of summoning throughout the game? That's like one of those questions I'm always asking when I hear about, you know, chaos on chaos matchups like that. Didn't work quite so well on his really, really dark spots there. Okay. I played Saints versus Nurgle. For me, let's see, I'm trying to think. I really want to bust out my Conquest stuff again, but there's just no one near me. Let's see. So you, engineer. I'm just putting off the ones to the side that I feel are like pretty much done, because I had already started them a while back. I think I can do better. Backpack. Even if we just gave it some yellow dials or whatever. I'd love to hear what everyone else is playing, though. What other games folks are getting in. Now, let's see. So these are my two scientists. I'm going to let you guys help me out because I don't know what I want to do for them. I want them to have, you know, crazy bold colors like everybody else. I'm thinking of... Basically what I need is, what is the undershirt of our scientist here in red? And then what is the general color of this guy? And remember, we're trying to kind of match to... Where's my book? That kind of thing. I'm thinking that the blue and the yellow, I don't really have a combination that's just those two. Blue, yellow and purple, yellow and red. So I'm thinking, yeah, like that guy's outfit on this scientist. And then I'm not sure what to do for his shirt. So let me know what you think. Could just do white like the soldier guys. But Ethan Law question. How do you approach buying minis, Doug? I found really good eBay deals on orcs that would give me a big backlog. I could either be excited by all that potential or overwhelmed by plastic. Well, those are fantastic questions. How do I approach it? It depends kind of on the scope of the project. So, for example, recently I got two awesome eBay lots for Fallout stuff. And one of them was for super mutants, one of them was for raiders. The reason I got them is because they had everything and more that I wanted for those various factions. But because I know that Fallout Wasteland Warfare is a skirmish level game where you're going to have, like, 30 something models, or I mean, nothing crazy by any stretch, then I feel okay buying those, because I know that, like, even though the backlog technically exists, I don't have to do anything with it for quite a while. Whereas I do feel more pressure in games like, say, Age of Sigmar, where if I have a large backlog and that represents a significant chunk of an army that I want to play, that gets to be stressful. What else? I don't have a specific thing. I don't like a backlog, if I'm honest with you. I value my space. If I buy something that does have a backlog, like I did with that Fallout stuff, I take the things that I'm excited about, I put them in one pile, I put all the stuff that, like you're saying, constitutes the backlog, stuff that you're excited to own but not necessarily do right now. Put it in a box and hide it deep in the closet so it never bothers you. Not so much a out of sight, out of mind type thing, but more like, if it's not in your face, it's not overwhelming you all the time. Especially, and that's really a good idea if you know that you want it eventually, right? Like, we all have those lots we see on eBay where it's like, I don't want to start with a bunch of tanks, but I could, I could see myself eventually wanting to try it if your army happens to have tanks or whatever. I like eBay. I like finding deals. I like swapping. Locally, our game store here locally had a used mini swap meet type thing, and I got a whole bunch of Dead Zone stuff that's going to be the zombies, the biological threat that I'm bringing for Space Station Zero. Because they're perfect. So I don't know, it just kind of depends. It depends on the game. If it's an army game, I want to have a whole army. I want to go as fast as I can to get something playable. Usually it's whatever the smallest playable size is. So, like, for AOS, my head's not really turning too much until I see like a 1,000-point list ready to roll. But yeah, I've been playing the Middle-earth strategy battle game companies lately. It's a lot of fun. Me and my buddy Jeremy were going to start that in Iowa City, and then sadly I moved away and kind of ruined the whole plan. But I do want to try it. I have not seen it played here locally. Reply to summoning. Nurgle summons way more reliably than Tzeentch. Also, I had a unit of acolytes that miscast twice. Oh no! Huminator. Hey Doug, just got on a train from Wigan to Edinburgh. Okay, right on. Yeah. How long of a ride is that? I barely know my own country's geography. Point to Texas on the map. Wherever you belong, that's where you are. Says Doug, travel guide. Ethan Law, how do you store your models? So, good question. Here, I'm gonna pop this off because I need to let stuff dry for just a smidge. Man, that light did not adjust well. So I have two things. One is I do have an army case for each game that I play. So, of course, I don't have anything with me. They're all on the back wall behind the camera. But, like, for example, I'm staring right now at a battle foam bag, the pack, what is it? 350 or something, I don't know. But that has all of my Fallout Wasteland Warfare models that I want to keep in there. Below that is a big stack, a big box with all my Blood and Plunder. Next to that is another A case with my Gloomspite Gits. Below that is my custom case that I made for my Horus Heresy dude. So I basically, my goal when it comes to each of the games that I play, and then when I add a new game, is to create a setup where if someone says, Doug, I want to play Carnival, right? That super awesome skirmish game that comes out of Europe that I just think is awesome. I know that I can grab a single case and then like my satchel that I just generally carry, like my dice, tape measure, all the generic all game stuff. But I can grab that case, my satchel, and be out the door and play a game. And that's what I have here with my setup. So all the rules and that kind of stuff stacked right next to the army case with the armies ready to go. Now, if it's not immediately ready to be picked up and run out the door to go play a game, it is in banker boxes. And I just label them and kind of just go through whatever I get the mood for at the time. So I don't have a specific storage style other than I wanted to be able to get excited for a game without the mentally daunting process of every single time having to be like, okay, what do I need for this? Where do I need to go? What books do I need to collect? And so on. We're gonna give him kind of a lilac-y shirt. Again, we're going for the clash in colors here. Those are also the boxes I used to bring my armies to a friend's house. Yeah, I didn't for the longest time. For the longest time, I would just kind of have all my stuff in general piles and then be like, oh, okay, so I have to take all my stuff out of my case to now reload it with my Horus Heresy junk or whatever. And then I was at a buy swap thing. This is back in Seattle area. And someone was selling like a couple of those beat up old foam cases. I mean, like for companies that don't even make foam cases anymore, quite frankly. And they were like $15. And so I had the idea of like, why don't I just get that, but like for every game? Oh my God, that'd be amazing. And thus it was born. And then, you know, I accrue more stuff than I could possibly fit into any of those. But you also have to remember that I'm somebody who trades armies. So like, that system might not work if you want to hoard and collect them. The only one I don't have a unique case for right now is my Flesh Eaters, and that's because I'm still trying to find one that I think will be a good fit for the size of the project that I want. Picking out some yellow bits on them. It's about a 4-hour ride. Right on. Well, very safe travels to you. Let's see, what else do I do for miniature storage? Yeah, I don't know. I just try to keep things together so that, like, I only have one bin where it's like, this is my box of random models that I have no rhyme or reason for, but I kind of don't want to get rid of them. That's the one box I allow myself, and right now that box is absolutely full to the brim with Pharaoh models from Privateer Press's War Machine and Hordes line. Where it's like, these are models I own because I want to own them, which I don't I don't have a lot of stuff like that. Like, you know, if you follow it along, you know how often I trade armies and stuff. But like, there was just something about the art for that line, and I adored it. I just adored it. I tried Dreadful Visage on like the contrast paint on my scientist with the bot on his shoulder, and I didn't. That is one of the most translucent of the contrast paints that I have seen in a bit. Where it's like almost oops no pigment. What are you working on today? And thank you. Oh, you're very welcome. So these are for the game. Well, they're actually models for the game Omegon Protocols by Dead Alive Studios. It's like an awesome hex-based game where it has like different game modes, PvP, PvE, solo campaign about a computer virus. I did a video on it, but a computer virus takes over. Like, imagine if Los Angeles got ruled over by an AI bot, and people who had nanobots in them for health reasons or whatever, various reasons, all got like corrupted and taken over. I don't know. I think it's a sick sounding setting. And these models are from that, but what I'm using them for is the miniatures agnostic game Space Station Zero, which I'm playing at Adepticon. Trying to find, here we go, some colors to use for hair. But overall is going well. After this, I'm gonna hit the zombies. I think I'm just gonna do a really simple slap shot for them though. I'm gonna, of course, ask Vince if he's cool with it before I do. But I would really love to bring my backdrop that I use to make some of my... Are you wearing a hood? What is this? Oh no, that's a hairline. I just saw. I just covered it up by accident. Bring my backdrop so we can take some cool pics, like cinematic style. Actually, I don't know if Vince is running it, to be honest with you. Who's running it? I'm hanging out with somebody. Most of the crew is ready. Feel good about the color choices we made on the other ones. So these guys are going to need some time to dry. Where are we at? We are right at an hour for painting. I'm going to put all this up here so it can dry. Get that out of the way. Okay. Let's do this. Okie dokie, I got that. Let me see. Where is my cork? Which, of course, I seem to have lost. That's okay. They put the Path to Glory stuff up on the website. Let's see. If you are doing a Path to Glory thing right now, I would love to hear about it because I'm just getting into ours. Let's see, where is it? Wait for it. Hey, there it goes. Okay. All right, time to make some choices. Step 1, choose a faction and a realm. So, I got me faction, Flesh Eater Courts. I'm writing this down on my little roster here. Player name. Doug, faction. Flesh Eater Courts, the Realm of Origin. Now, I'm going to put Ghiran for right now, because that's where the Hollow Mourner are generally based out of, but I'm happy to change that. I don't have any realm-specific lore ideas at this point, so I'm pretty neutral on that one. Army name, the Opal Morn. In case you guys are curious, here I am. Here, I can actually... subfaction. Morn and starting size. Go back here. Second step is to choose the point limits for your blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we're starting at 600. Which I know is small and a little bit awkward, but that's all right. That's what they say a lot about me. So, order of battle. In this step, we will begin adding units to your Path to Glory, starting with your Warlord. What am I missing? Okay, yes, starting with the Warlord. You can now add, beginning and used to your battle. The first one you have to add is your Warlord. He's the commander of your roster. Okay. So I want to stick with what I have painted right now as far as Warlord's possibilities that I have painted. I have the Marrow Scroll Herald. I have the Aberrant, the new flying one that came out with the starter set. The Gore Warden, that's what he is, the Gore Warden. Maybe a Courtier or something? I'm still waiting on the rest of the stuff to release. No, those are the two meaningful choices. So the Aberrant Gore Warden or the Marrow Scroll Herald. What court are you doing? I am doing the Hallowmorn. Does anyone want to come up with a fittingly knightly name for my Gore Warden? So we'll do, I was going to put that. Oh yes, and he gets to choose a command trait. Oop, so now we're back here. Sorry, I switched my camera setup and now I'm all over the place. for, if we did the Gore Warden, here's the Royalty one. This general is not visible to enemy models that are more than 12 inches away. Add 1 to casting, dispelling, and unbinding rolls. I'm gonna go with Shadowy Obfuscation. Okay. And then he also gets an enhancement, Artifact of Power. Grim Garland, subtract 2 from Bravery, once per battle in the hero phase. I am gonna go. Man. I'm gonna go with Grim Garland just because it's not a once per game. Also, he does actually have kind of a garland around his neck now that you think about it. That actually works out. Okie dokie. Starting units. Once you pick your warlord, you can add the rest of your units to start your battle. You will need to refer to the pitched battle profile. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. So let's see. I have a little PDF here with my point tallies up here. I'll show it to you guys. I made a super janky Flesh Eater Courts thing so I could like come up with list ideas before the book or the whatever updated on the app. But I made it off of like an old Warhammer 40k one where these are all like old Dark Eldar weapons on the side. So anyway, ignore those. So we have 1 Gore Warden here, and we have a total of 600 points. That's what we're looking for. For me personally, I get the Crypt Horrors as battle line. So I want at least a little bit of that to kind of represent. I'd actually love it if I could do 2, and then I have a unit of Crypt Guard all painted. That's nice. That brings me right up there. Unfortunately, nothing quite that cheap outside of endless spells, which I definitely could go get. But I think we're going to start there. Eventually I want to reinforce one of those Crypt Horrors. But for 550 of grossness, that could be real nasty. Or let's see, I could, if I wanted to, drop you and do a Crypt Infernal Courtier. That's its own independent murder machine. But I need bodies. That's the thing, is I think I need bodies. We'll go there, okay. Other units, let's see. And Crypt Guard. And they have nothing meaningful at this point to talk about. Okay, let's see. Yes, so oh yeah, we kind of skipped the stronghold part. Stronghold, I'm gonna call it the Gore Keep. And right now we get to start off with... There's our total. Why don't you just say what the starting size is? There we go. Unit limit 6, we're well under that. Okay. Okie dokie. And we start with 5 glory points. All right. I'm a big fan of the Gore Warden as the Morbeg our battle line if he is the general. I guess I didn't think about that. He is, and he will be my general. I do like the Cryptars for right now, but I will add those next. That's a great idea. Okay, so we're good there. Let's see. Warlord, core enhancements. Pick your first quest. Well, let's do a fun one here. We got quests in our book here. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Grand Tournament. I'm just going to read the flavor text. I'm going to pick it solely based on flavor. Here we go. The Lord has challenged their courtiers to a contest of arms. Whoever performs the most valiant feats. I only have the 1 leader, so I'm going to pass on that for right now. A wise monarch is always looking to expand their kingdom and ensure prosperity reigns across the lands by inducting former foes into their ranks. After deployment, but before the first battle round begins, choose 1 enemy unit on the battlefield to be driven to cannibalism. At the end of the battle, roll a dice if that enemy unit survived the battle. Add 1 for each friendly aberrant within 9 inches of that enemy unit. On a 4-up, you complete this quest. When you complete this quest, you can add a unit of 10 Crypt Ghouls to your order of battle, or reinforce an existing unit on your... Interesting. But Crypt Ghouls don't come in units of 10. So how does that work? That's interesting. Okay. At the end of the battle, let's see. Okay, Mordants have heard a rumor of rotting Mega Gargant corpse nearby that is ripe for the picking. Recruit new subject sounds like it. It is the 1. Let me see. Although they do still have their generic. What do we got? Search for the artifact. Pick 1 War Scroll Battalion. Oh, I see. Deific Blessing. Sorry, I'm just reading through these here. Gotta take my dog for a walk. Take it easy, dude. Scout fertile lands. I'm gonna go defend your realm. Let's start building up this list because I do actually have like a painted zombie dragon and some horrors and some other stuff. It's all very pricey, like Path to Glory points wise. So I think starting off by doing that is not a bad idea. Current quest: defend your realm. Quest reward. 10 glory. And I don't have any territories yet. Okay, yeah, bonus renown, all that kind of stuff. So, sweet. Okay, well then I am ready to roll. Then we have the Ophalmorn, part of the Hallowmorn court set up. We have our war scrolls ready. As far as preparing, oh, that's right. He needs to choose his spell lore and stuff like that because he does get a spell. Deranged transformation. I'm gonna put tracks. Okay. And then casualty score. I have no other heroes, no command traits. I need names for all these factions, but that's okay. We'll figure that out later. All in all, a fairly good start. Got my War Scroll cards over there. Awesome. Y'all, I don't know about you, but this certainly helped me get some hobby done. Like, it's just that kind of like mind-numbing stuff in the background, like the setting up your rosters and that kind of stuff so you can go to the store and just start gaming, you know? But anyway, I'm going to keep picking away at these Space Station Zero miniatures as we get more and more ready for Adepticon. I'm excited to talk about that event more with you after it is over. And I look forward to hanging out with you all very, very soon, hopefully next Thursday as well. And tomorrow I have a fun terrain tutorial, of all things, coming out that I think you'll enjoy. So thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I'll catch you all real soon. Happy War